Do you see that? You see the power pole? It's pulled from the house. There. And I'm having problems in the fish room because the power to the house is cut. What do I do? So I'm driving to Lowe's to pick up a generator because I don't know exactly what to do, considering that the power supply to my house is so messed up that I don't have any power, or hardly any at all to speak of. So yeah, thanks for coming along with me in this journey, if you can call it that. What a nightmare. Happy fish keeping, folks. So the only thing I could think of that would make any sense was to go get a generator to help power my fish room, because I'm not going to rely on the power company to come out and fix things. I hope they will, but you know, who knows when. So stay tuned. So I'm here at Lowe's buying the generator. Woo! Expensive, and the one I want, of course, is up on the shelf. Lovely. Well, everyone, happy water change Sunday in the case for me. So I guess the moral of this story is, as I release my python's gravity pressure here, the moral of the story is you shouldn't panic when something bad happens in the fish room, like losing power. So I did have these, if we go down here, this battery pump, and I use this to power the sponge filter in this tank, and I had a line going over to that tank as well, powering those sponge filters. The power was going in and out because of the awkward connection outside, so my main pump up here that runs along these lines was still having some pressure. It was enough to provide a little oxygen to these betta tanks and power the one sponge filter that's way hidden in the back in this tank, as well as a little bit to the 10-gallon and a little bit to the shrimp tank. So at least there was something going on. Down here, these guys were pretty much without anything in the quarantine tank during that time, and it was probably a period of about 4 or 5 hours. Over here in my 75-gallon tank, I have a little Whisper air pump, and there was enough power from this outlet to run that sponge filter. And in fact, I had to run an extension cord over to my main air pump from the outlet that's over this way, because for some reason this outlet was still getting some power. So eventually, you know, everyone's fine. No fish died, no snails died. Everyone's alive and healthy. And I ran out and bought a generator, which is out there now with a big gas tank, as you can see. Turns out I didn't need it, but you know, I'm just going to keep it in the future. If I do have a prolonged issue, I can fire that generator up and run a line straight through that window right there. Down here, plug in my central air pump and a few other necessities and keep it running for however long, you know, the power's out. So I guess the moral of my story is everyone is fine. I am fine. I shouldn't have panicked as much as I did. The power company did come out within, like I said, about 4 or 5 hours, and they were out working hard, and they cut back some of the tree that was affecting the line to the house, and they got everything running again. So Have fun with your hobby and try not to stress out like I did. If something like that happens to you, try to trust and believe that something good is going to happen. And in this case, I took emergency measures, and some of them probably weren't necessary, but at least I know now if it happens again in the future that I'll know what to expect, and I'll be probably even better prepared than I was. And at least I was somewhat prepared. I did have a battery, air pump, and etc. But had the power not been there a little bit, it might have been worse. But in the long run, having the tanks without any kind of circulation or whatever for 4 or 5 hours would have been fine anyway. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.